welcome to LUTV's coverage, and it is a Cup quarter-final. The Premier League Cup sees Leeds United's 21s welcome Chelsea today in a game that will mean so much to both teams, with a place in the final four dangled in front of them. Scott Gardner's side beat Bournemouth 3-2 to reach the last 8, while Chelsea had the advantage over Norwich by the same scoreline in the previous round. The team for Scott Gardner's side is Harry Christy, then Alfie Cresswell, Dan Toulson, Cian Coleman, James Debayo, Ruben Lopata-White, Joe Richards, Reece Chadwick, Luca Thomas, Sam Chambers and Joe Snowdon. The bench for the 21s today is Danny van der Heuvel, Charlie Allen, Diogo Monteiro, Morton Spencer and Chris Moore. As for Chelsea, their goalkeeper today is Teddy Sharman-Lowe. It is a defence of Brody Hughes, Billy G, Dylan Williams, Zach Sturge, Dyer, Sten Zane, Silcott-Duberry, Michael Golding, Jimmy J Morgan, Leo Castledine and Donnelly McNeilly. The bench from Mark Robinson's side is Tariq George, Max Merrick, Ishe Samuel Smith, Reece Denny and Frankie Runham. So it is a big day this for the team. A chance, quarter-finals, and myself, Tom Hill and Ben Parker bringing you all the action. Ben, it's well, I say a couple of weeks. It's just over 2 weeks since the last game due to the international break. We've got a young squad out there today, but this is a young squad that pretty much has got us to where we are. You know, fair enough, Sonny Perkins scored the winner against Bournemouth last time in the competition, but Luca Thomas, his replacement up front, has played more games than him. So while it's a young team, it is a team that is there on merit. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Tom, and good afternoon to everybody else. And you know, these are the kind of games you want to play in quarter-final of the Premier League Cup. Got here on merit. Been a tough journey at times, but the players have dug in. A lot of changes. You mentioned a young team again today, but an opposition in Chelsea who we've come up so many times in recent weeks and months. So two sets of teams, players very familiar with each other, and it's about just applying yourselves, applying the game plan. Scott Gardner and Stuart Downey who worked ever so well leading into this game around that, but it's down to the individuals. Go out and grasp the opportunity. Semi-final place up for grabs. Not many times you can say that in a young career, so go out and enjoy the occasion.
Yeah, it's certainly the case, as these two could very much well be sick of the sight of each other. This is going to be the fourth meeting they've had since November. Leeds lost 2-1 to them in November, with McGurk getting the goal before he moved on to pastures new at Swindon. It was Washington that scored twice for Chelsea that day. Then in the start of February, it was a 3-3 draw. Allen, Wilson and Thomas grabbing the goals. Silcott-Duberry and then a Morgan brace for Chelsea. And then we played Chelsea again up at Thorpe Arch 2 weeks later. Castledine and Stutter with a 2 to get the goal. So we're underway at the LNER Community Stadium. Big chance for Leeds to try. And I guess if you're going to win any of the games, Ben, out of the four, this is the most important one. But you know, what would it be like as a player? You know, when you've played the team so many times. I know youth football, there is different 11s each time we've played them, but you know, 4 times in one season is certainly not the norm.
No, it certainly isn't. And yeah, there's been a few times in my career when you come up against a team 3 or 4 times in the space of a campaign, and you're just familiarised with how they're set up, but again, it's down to how you implement not only how you play individually, but as a team collective. And we're not going to change how we want to play. We're going to be very front-footed, aggressive. It's important we start well, we start bright like we are. Yeah,
Richards tried to play it to Snowdon, just under-hit the pass, but that was the ball that was certainly the easiest one to place. Debayo played it backwards to Christy without really looking. Good job that Jimmy J Morgan wasn't quick enough to get to it, as Chambers gets a toe to the ball. Signed recent contracts with the club, as a couple of other players that have had some decent milestones. Good to see Richard starting out there, yes, in a number 7 jersey, but will double up as a second right back if he has to. And this is a young group, and you look at the success the 18s have had, it won't be long before we're covering those in the FA Youth Cup in the semi-finals. That's on Thursday night against Millwall at LNER, with a good crowd expected, and the reward for that is the likes of Cresswell, Lopata-White and Richards coming in. Then you've got Chadwick, Chambers as well, so more of an 18s feel to this 21s team, with a bench more experience with Allen, Monteiro, Spencer and Moore, and clearly some planning behind that, Ben, from Scott Gardner. He's not picked it on a whim.
No, not at all. But this is the future of not only the club, but also immediate under-21 future going forward, and it's a career path, always has been, the 18s going into the under-21s. But to see so many of our young scholars out there in a quarter-final for the under-21s, yeah, it's a great experience, but they want to win as well.
Yeah, good charge forward here from Chelsea. It's a pull on the shirt from Debayo. Doesn't slow them down too much, allowing Golding to come forward now to Sturge into the channel for Williams, who is a competitive fullback, gets forward very well. Chelsea do have, as you expect with the money they've spent over the years and the academy products they've tried to bring through, they've got a long list of players ready to try and knock on the door. Here is the latest one of those in Brodie Hughes. Back out towards Williams again, in towards the box. Yeah, Debayo gets his body in the way. It was a bit of a scruffy sort of clearance, and Leeds eventually hook it clear, just try to play for territory more than anything else. And now picking the ball up is Silcott-Duberry out on the right-hand side. So 3 minutes gone. Leeds have lost 4 on the spin ahead of this, one of those to Chelsea, while the Blues have lost 2 in 3 and won 3 in 5. If you're looking at the form table, if you're looking at the league table, Leeds sitting bottom of the academy structure now in Premier League 2, but they have games in hand to improve that position. Chelsea in 7th. There's Williams again. Up to Sturge, takes the touch to try and get past Cresswell. As a centre-half, he's a little bit out of position today, but he joins along an illustrious list of the last 3 seasons. For 4 seasons, if you play for the 21s, beware, you might have to play in goal, Ben. And there is a lot of players that have played numerous positions. Leeds are on the back foot here as Chelsea come forward. Lopata-White stands his ground. Chelsea rolling it out towards Hughes once more, delivers the cross all the way out towards the far post. While Leeds looked to be under pressure, and they were, there was no actual panic at the back.
No, defensively sound. You can see the numbers. Chelsea trying to penetrate, going through the centre halves, but Lopata-White, good position to clear, and no real threat, as you mentioned, to the goal. And it's important we're going to stay compact. That's what Chelsea try and do well, try and play between the lines, and then if we do get narrow, they'll try and switch the play. So it's important, starting positions, communication. Going to have to do that for the full 90 minutes today.
Certainly are. As Christy to Debayo or Lopata-White, the 2 centre-backs just run out of wriggle room. Chelsea were set for that, so clearly something to watch for the rest of the game. Picking up the pieces is Silcott-Duberry, who just switched inside. It's quite a fluid formation, this for Chelsea. Silcott-Duberry was playing right back for the first few minutes. Eventually moved into a position where we expect him to play further forward in that 7 jersey, but the Blues pretty much using a back 3. They do make it a back 5 when they have to, and it's all relatively calm back there. And Luca Thomas trying to lead the press, and I think we say it often, Ben, when we play against so-called better academy teams higher up the pyramid with more experience at this level. Patience will be key today for this group, because you can clearly see how the first minutes have unfolded, that the away team are going to have an awful lot of the ball. Yeah, and mentioned about starting positions, it's so key. But communication, your more experienced players, if we can call them that today, but the guys who've been around the under-21s played a lot of minutes at this age. Important those guys step up and have that communication, leadership, because we're going to need plenty of it. Yeah, good work from Coleman. Likewise, Thomas, Chadwick, back to Snowdon. Having met Reece Chadwick, I know this is a game he'll be absolutely relishing. He was one of the players we interviewed after that 18 success in the quarterfinals at home, and it's fair to say his allegiance is firmly against the master of Leeds United. And congratulations as well to young Charlie Crew, who can't play in the squad today because he was on the travelling party to the first team, and that's because of some very consistent performances for this outfit and the 18s. And then such is the madness of this team, as we've got a goal kick being given, is that Charlie Crew can go from Friday first team bench to under 18s first team starting 11 on Thursday. But a massive well done to him, Ben. No, it's been great to see his career path. Still got a lot of work to do, of course. You just don't think you've made it because you've all of a sudden been on the bench for the first team, and an attitude that Charlie Crew has probably epitomises the whole of the academy. Yeah, Leeds might have a chance to win the ball back and attack. They've certainly done the former. The latter is down to Chambers, who does swing it. It is a little unfortunate, in fairness, because his cross takes a wicked deflection straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, Sharman-Lowe, who's in no real rush. He's had Dyer in front of him in the number 6 jersey as a first release option. Has yet to use him. And this Chelsea back three opens up and comes forward. And the attack with Golding. There's plenty of height in this Chelsea team as well, and pace. A very elusive team. They can turn on the acceleration when they need to. So just because they're playing at one pace does not mean they'll stay at it. They can switch it up through the gears. Cresswell tried to squeeze the legs together to ensure nobody could nutmeg him. Successful mission there. SG goes further wide to Hughes. Leeds with Toulson pushing up. A slight touch on the ball. Just doesn't sit for Leeds. Chadwick was trying to play it to Joe Snowdon. These traps were set, but unable to unlock a counter-attack as Stutter. So Williams smashes into Lopata-White. Have to clench the abs as it came at him, but he got a contact, got a touch on the ball. It's a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward height for Lopata-White. Then just trying to deal with it, gets his body in the way, but there's just an occasion where Chelsea try and get the overload down the left-hand side, getting bodies in the box, important block in the end.
Taking this set piece is Silcott-Duberry. Scored in that 3-3 draw between these two teams in February. Short corner instead. Into Dyer. Looping ball to the far post, right under the sun into the path of Harry Christy, who deals with it rather well and gets Chadwick on his way. He's got no interest in playing a bit of a running game down the left-hand side. He knew he didn't have the pace. Sadly, his ball behind was a little bit under hit as well. But certainly the right option from Chadwick. Just Chelsea, well, I said it a few seconds ago, a very, very quick team. And you could tell they were quite anxious there because of the rushing back. They've given the ball away here through Dyer. Coleman doesn't get it out of his feet. That's not for the first time today. A ball to Joe Snowdon's been a yard short. And all that good work from Coleman, a little unfortunate, ruined by a bobbling ball as Chadwick clips the heels of Hughes. And that is 9.5 minutes gone, Ben. It's gone pretty quick to say we've got nothing to get excited about. But the counter-attacks we have had have all been stopped due to the last pass.
Yeah, and that's probably the disappointing thing so far from Scott Gardner's point of view, because good positions on the front foot, as we mentioned, how we're looking to play, it's important to get that pass right.
Yeah, forward ball. Shot is going to come in down the throat of Harry Christy. Having a go was Jimmy J. Morgan. The flag had gone up anyway, so Harry Christy was trying to take it quickly. Delays that decision and just tells Debayo to take charge of this set piece. And no surprise, he goes back to his number 1. It's the channel for Richards of all people. He gets nudged, a little unfortunate, last second nudged off the ball, but yeah, Richards as a right back. We said it earlier in the season, in the last few weeks, just because he's got number 2 on his back, you can see he likes to get forward. He does have that freedom. Bit of extra pace as well, and another player so young. I think he's got a bright future in this 21s team if he can maintain his current form. Chelsea have beaten the press and done so quite effectively. They're on the attack. Now further wide to Leo Castledine, running at Lopata-White. Lopata-White gets goal side. Touch unfortunate. The touch doesn't get away from goal. Block. Lopata-White getting involved again and again. And I thought it was a little unlucky with the fact they read the play. The Chelsea player slipped and he still couldn't get to it. As here is Richards on the counter. Chests it down. A little bit behind him as he flicks it inside to Snowdon. The two working on the fly. A bit of a free roam there for both players. As Cresswell, he will be a bit more safe from right back than Richards. Coleman wanted the 1-2 with Snowdon. Bit of a pull on the shirt, says the Leeds number 4. Nothing given, but it will be a corner, and that's the best bit of play we've seen from the white shirts.
Yeah, it was just the composure in possession, picking the right option, because as we mentioned, we've had several times in terms of trying to start a counter-attack, but the final pass let us down. This time we'll get it spot on. Probably a little tug on Snowdon. Did well to win the corner in the end.
Thomas whips ball in. Debayo going for it. Arms in the air from James Debayo. The effort was blocked immediately. Chadwick with a quick high five, and got to keep morale high here, Leeds, because that was a dangerous ball in. It forced Chelsea into a last-ditch block. Luca Thomas traditionally would be in the penalty area as the number 9, but one of the most left-footed players, in fact, maybe the most left-footed player in this team apart from Toulson. He's getting ready to swing another one in near post. Lopata-White nearly touches it home. It went all the way across the far post as Debayo flies in, puts a block in, and that is 2 set pieces in a row that have given us some hope.
Oh, it's a wicked delivery, wasn't it? Lopata-White swung his right boot at it, didn't make any contact, and just hoping somebody's coming in at the far post. Nobody, unfortunately, for a white shirt was there, but as I mentioned, what a delivery in.
I think you could tell that from his body language. He put his arms out, didn't he, to say, well, where are you? Yeah, where are you? Anyone there? A real shame. If we could have had that time again, we could have orchestrated it ourselves and had somebody at the back stick steaming in, but not to be, as Toulson gets caught on the ball, was trying to play it backwards to Coleman. In fairness to Dan Toulson, he ups the ante to pressurise and get the ball back. Some of Keane Coleman's touches have been rather fancy today. He gets away from trouble there as Chambers and Thomas tackle the Chelsea player, and Joe Snowdon got caught there. He was trying to suggest that the ball had not come off a Leeds shirt, but referee Dale Baines having none of it. Morgan, his work applauded by McNeilly. Further wide to Zach Sturge, who will have some chalk under his boots. That's how wide he's been so far today for Chelsea. High hanging ball to Castledine at the far post. Watched all the way by Toulson in the number 3 jersey for Leeds. Chadwick putting some pressure on. Christy again. As per usual, quite a safe pair of hands, Harry Christy. And nice and calming at the back for a defender. Inside 15 minutes. I'd say it's relatively even, Ben, to be fair.
No, it has. A lot of the play has been between the both boxes, hasn't it? And I think for our point of view, coming into this game, knowing how strong Chelsea have been recently, it's been a good start. Yeah,
Debayo, I think his ankle's taken out from underneath him, gets it to Chadwick. That ball is bobbling an awful lot out there, and Chelsea win the challenge but concede a free kick. It's only really the last day and a half that the weather has improved in the area, but it's still going to need a couple of weeks of dryness to improve the surface across the country. Still running rather true, though. Probably bobbling more than the players would like, as Lopata-White looked for Richards, who's playing like an inverted forward rather than a wide player in the early stages. Good work from Lopata-White to fly in. He gets her on the front foot. He wanted a free kick. Referee says no. Richards uses that as motivation. Flies in, almost inspired, as that's a risky back pass. That's got Sharman-Lowe a little bit rushed. He hooks it clear towards halfway. A couple of Leeds players appealing for free kicks. Coleman towards Chadwick. Chadwick, as per usual, flies in. And Toulson is caught late. There's a little bit of spice forming in some of these challenges. I said it earlier about Chadwick, Ben. He does have that, I guess, what we all have if you're from this area, that local nous of if you have to put your foot in, you have to. When you're wearing this shirt, you've got to do it. He's wearing number 8. He is just all action. We've seen him, what is it, 5 times over for the 21s. It's been a real joy to watch him every time, and that challenge suggested a player that is bang up for this fight. Didn't have to be 100% made, did it anyway?
Look, it's against Chelsea as well, so gives you that added kind of impetus to just leave the boot in a little bit longer as well, so fair play to him.
High hanging, throwing into the air. Chadwick actually flicks it back to Toulson and returns the favour, and Toulson can try and send to Snowdon. He can. Thomas is on the edge of the area. He tries to pick him out. The leg from the defender gets there first. Richards back to Chambers. It's very scrappy in there for Leeds United. Snowdon once more to Coleman. Gets it out of his feet. He lofts it at the last second. It wasn't further enough out of his feet, and that is a let off for Chelsea, because you just thought if Luca Thomas could have got to that ball, he was the one you wanted striking that ball, Ben. And I take nothing away from Cian Coleman, who had every right to go for it.
Yeah, and he'd be disappointed. Cian Coleman technically is very good. Expect him to hit the target, but again, just shows a bit of composure, picking the right option, the right pass. We can unlock this Chelsea defence and get into the right areas where we need to hurt them.
Yeah, I love the pressure there from Coleman, driving in, puts a Chelsea defender on the back, legitimately as well. You know, the Blues are a good team, they're a great team at academy level as well. They've proven it. Leeds haven't beaten them this season, but there's no sign of any, I guess, conceding the fact that, you know, Leeds are not playing with that fact of the bend. They've lost twice to this group and drawn once. It maybe does feel that there is that youthfulness, that 18s feel to it, that the players are just happy to be out there and looking to do a job. As Castledine gets to the ball, cuts it back, the dummy comes in. It's a really good goal from Chelsea. Castledine, dummy from Silcott-Duberry, fired home from Morgan, and there is the class that Chelsea have shown this season. 19 minutes in, they lead a 0-0.
Yeah, the disappointing thing from it coming from a throw, but just when you're starting to feel you're getting a foothold in the game, almost feeling like you are the better team, but just goes to show, switch off, lapse of concentration for a split second at this level, you get punished.
Yeah, very, very effective from Chelsea. As you say, Ben, a throw-in is really not the area that Leeds expected to concede in. Frustration will be building amongst that defence and that midfield, but good. Thomas is rolling up the socks. The players will have to dig in and just move on. Coleman having a few more options there from kick-off. So what's the plan of action from here, Ben? Is it a case of not letting your heads drop a couple of minutes? Or do you have to sort of fight fire with fire and just carry on the same vein, and if you concede again, you concede again? I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because if you go into your shell against this Chelsea team, they'll start to dominate.
Yeah, exactly, and it's important you don't do that, you're right, because the first 90 minutes, it's been good. And yeah, of course, you probably want to create a little bit more than we have done, but so far as the performance, it's been very even game, even contest. Just that bit of switching off at the wrong moment. Chelsea have punished us, got the quality to do that, but just keep doing what you're doing.
Richards caught on the ball, it will fall to Chambers. On the left hand side is Snowdon, still Chambers going for it, gets hounded out, options to pass there. Not once but twice, as now there's a huge counter-attack here for Castledine. Debayo's got options to the left-hand side to try and smother. Here it is into McNeilly, he goes for goal, and there is the counter-attack. Leeds punished, a huge gap in the centre of midfield, and Donald McNeilly punishes them with a plum. It's Leeds United 0, Chelsea 2.
Just when you think we're going to get the equaliser ourselves through Chambers, gets crowded out, but then just this one pass, so much space, and then Chelsea 3v2. Just hoping to get the wrong option. They miss the finish. They do neither. Clinical yet again from Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, you can break it down numerous ways. If the pass is better, or if Chambers passes entirely, that might not happen. But you know, he would say as well, there's 6 white shirts behind me. That shouldn't happen either. And the issue was there was nobody to take Castledine out, was there? You know, it was very clear that there was a chance coming. If that pass doesn't get there, then fair enough, but Coleman was 20 yards behind him.
And that's the part of communication, because you can see the picture in front of you. Just talk to your midfield players saying there's a guy behind on your left or right shoulder. And yeah, of course, you're forward thinking. We're trying to get the goal through Chambers, but you've got to also think, worst case scenario, if we do lose the ball, are we in a good position to stop that counter-attack? And it wasn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, Chadwick is trying to get under the skin of the Chelsea players. Castledine sticking up for Dyer. And Chadwick will no doubt be giving his opinion across to anyone in a Chelsea shirt in front of him. And I don't think that'll be the last time we see those two having a coming together. It's something that you perhaps don't forget when you've been pushed on the floor. Chadwick is trying to just maybe make them force into a mistake. There was a double touch there from a Chelsea player. It still got through, but Lopata-White gets it. That looked like a really nasty collision on the floor, but it was just the way it looked. Very brave of the number 6. Slid in, got a touch to the ball, back on his feet, and now putting the pressure on alongside Debayo, who's rushed out of defence. Great decision from him as Chadwick turns. Chadwick trying to play it through towards Thomas. That is where Chelsea are so effective to press. They're making Leeds make mistakes. Debayo had already beaten the striker but caught. Morgan came back for a second nibble. Debayo gets his revenge. And Leeds need to deal with things here, which they will to Christy. But they're very direct with the press, Ben. Chelsea, it's just like running in straight lines. But it's working.
Yeah, it is. But the times we have beaten the press, again, let ourselves down with just that final decision making, whether it's to run with the ball, whether it's to pass. If we get that right, there's going to be opportunities in the game, but if we keep giving the ball back to Chelsea, they've proven they've got the quality. They will punish us time and time again.
Here is Debayo. Christy to Thomas. He gets caught on the ball. Morgan trying to put him under pressure and make them pay with another goal. Castledine just taken away from him. Chadwick gets there now. Coleman, someone's got to put the foot through it for Leeds. Thomas, of course, was at centre-half when he made the mistake, which is why he's not up to try and retain possession. It's all got a bit frantic, and Chelsea are feeding on that, Ben, at the minute. Yeah,
they are, and perfect scenario now for Chelsea, isn't it? Especially getting that second goal. They're in control of the match, dictating the play, slowing it down when they need to, speeding it up at the right moments. For ourselves, it's just getting through this tricky little period, because we're still in this game. We really are, but it's important we just stay together, stay compact. We can't allow Chelsea to get another goal.
Snowdon over the top. Thomas just got caught in two minds. Didn't know whether to bring it down or head it. Chelsea got the better of him as Dyer turns away from Chadwick. Eases the pressure with a simple ball out wide. Mistake. Now Chadwick can pounce. Chadwick trying to play the ball in. Reaches Snowdon. Leeds driving forward. Snowdon low and hard. It's spilled. Chadwick tries to go for it. Thomas, is he offside? He's spinning and turning. Shot comes in. Chadwick went for it. Went to take the lever off the ball. The flag had gone up against Luca Thomas. And there's still an awful long left in this match. But I'm starting to feel like this is going to be a frustrating day. Every touch Chelsea get is helping them. Leeds have just not had any luck. Really unlucky there, Ben.
Really was. That parry could have gone literally anywhere. Could have just fallen to Richards. It could have fallen to Luca Thomas. Yeah, in the end, he was offside, Luca Thomas. But again, it's another good moment that gives you confidence to know you can get back into this match.
I think the thing as well is Chelsea on the front foot have been so good, but defensively there has been mistakes. The Leeds, as you say, Ben, have had joy on the front foot. As that's a touch off a Chelsea player. That should be a corner. It's spotted, and that will be Luca Thomas to come across and take it.
Yeah, you're just hoping he's got another wicked delivery in his luck, and this time gamble at the far post.
So Thomas, arms aloft. That's the signal for this group of Leeds United players. This time a bit of a floating ball, a header, and that is a goal back. It looks like it's Cresswell that's got it, and Leeds United are back in this game. Inch perfect delivery and a centre half in the right spot, and a header there. We've seen it from the brotherly connections that there's a danger man in a Cresswell shirt at the far post. Alfie follows suit. Game on.
Game on, you're right there. Good delivery yet again, just what we were asking for. And it was Joe Snowdon, really. It just kind of blocked the goalkeeper, because from a Chelsea perspective, you're asking your goalkeeper to come 6 yards out and claim that cross, but just held his position, just Snowdon, not allowing the goalkeeper to come out. Simple free header for Cresswell. As you said, Tom, game on.
Yeah, they've been buoyed by that here. Snowdon, Toulson's eventually going to get there on the overlap. Snowdon doesn't use him. Defender does very well. Very well indeed. Brody Hughes gets his body in the way and then waits for his goalkeeper, Teddy Sharman-Lowe. And with the sun shining, Leeds on the front foot. I mean, because there's been quite a lot to talk about, doesn't really think there's 20 minutes left of the first half, but there is. And it's gone fast, but yet, you know, I think it's because it's been all action. Hasn't really been a lull in proceedings. And Chelsea are more than happy to just go front foot as well. Debayo stepped up on a number of occasions and won the ball very quickly. Snowdon into Chadwick. Wanted to turn it inside to Richards. No width because he's the main man out there. So a bit of calmness. Coleman takes it away. He's going to drive forward. Out to Cresswell. And the goal scorer will take some fizz out of the attack and regroup. And I don't think, Ben, that's a bad idea.
No, not at all. And you can just see that goal, what it's done to us, just give us that lift. And we just kept on sticking to his guns, really.
Yeah, forward to Thomas. Tries to take it in his stride. A couple of touches. And sadly, the last one off the edge of Luca Thomas's left boot. Behind for a goal kick. Coleman, a couple of touches to get to the ball. No free kick given. Leeds on the front foot once more. Coleman looking for a pass. Near post, deflected. Thomas, it won't fall to him. Snowdon, a chance to shoot and score. Brilliant from Joe Snowdon, support play, and Leeds finally get the ricochet they've been looking for. 29 minutes gone. Leeds United 2, Chelsea 2.
What character to get back into this game. 2-0 down. Chelsea dominating, but then we'll just get just a bit of second wind almost into us play. Keane Coleman, on this occasion, on the front foot, pressing. He's the architect. And then does Snowdon have the composure? You bet he does, Tom. 2-2.
Really good finish. Kept his composure, kept his head over the ball, and then that bit of venom behind it as well. And I'm not for 1 second suggesting Chelsea are going to switch off because they're simply too good. But a penny for their thoughts of their players after 23.5 minutes, 2-0 up. Could have scored a third. Deflection, on the edge of the box, took it away from Castledine, was about to shoot. You had another couple of half efforts as well. 6 minutes is a very long time in football.
It's a very long time. It's a funny old game as well. But as we were saying, didn't really need to change too much in how we was playing. The opportunities were there. It's all about, can you have the composure, the right option on the final end product. Wow, we've done that on 2 occasions now. Never a dull moment, is it, Tom?
No, not really. Don't think I've ever been bored doing this job for the quality of the football and just the sheer carnage that it can bring. I mean, 4 goals would have been a delight come 90 minutes, but yet here we are inside half an hour. And it's the fight you want, isn't it, as well, Ben? Quarter-final of a cup. It's against Chelsea, as you say, so these players that have come through the system, they'll know the rivalry that's there. And just what Leeds needed was a response. I think even 2-1 was something Scott Garner would have been pleased at, but 2-2 is as good as it's going to get, especially against a group that are 19 places higher than them in the league table. Touch from Richards, who's having quite an effective game as a right midfielder. You might never see a number 2 shirt again if he can mould himself into a floundering winger. Up to Morgan, one of Chelsea's many danger players. But Lopata-White and Debayo have shown flashes of being really good as Christy tries to play it out from the back. I mean, that was risky. Of course, deflection could have actually got a lot worse for us, Ben. I'd say that's the one area Chelsea have dominated, the press, that they've made Leeds look very awkward in possession. Yeah,
and it's knowing when you can keep hold of possession, when it has to go kind of first time, clear your lines. Because you don't want to be inviting Chelsea back into the game. What we've done in the final, what feels like 5-6 minutes, doesn't it? With the goals coming in that period, got ourselves massively back into the game. Don't hand the impetus back to Chelsea through our mistakes.
Lopata-White. What a good header that was. Advantage given. Toulson's pass, very ambitious over the top, and you get a couple of other fellow white shirts up there, but not to be on that occasion. Over the top ball gets McNeilly on the chase. Debayo would want to go back to Christy if he could. And then when a throw was the second option, a free kick maybe even better, just calms things down. McNeilly, of course, has also come off second best despite the contact. I think it's more of a coming together than anything else. After half an hour, all 4 goals in 10 minutes. And I find it really hard to try and judge, Ben, who wants a bit of a lull in proceedings more. Is it Chelsea to try and just reassert some dominance? I almost feel like both teams are actually favoured by this front foot style. Just try to unlock each other, beat the press, beat the counter-attacks. I think that's what's going to make it such a fascinating watch.
It certainly is. It almost feels like attack v attack, doesn't it? And left the defence in the changing room for this first half, but it's making a great watch.
Lopata-White comes across. Morgan misjudged the flight of the ball, did so by being offside. Don't worry, Harry Christy hasn't broken the rules. Here is Toulson. Tame enough pass to try and get to Chadwick, who again is having a good old battle out there with Dyer, Dyer should I say, and he's really enjoying himself, the number 60. He is a bag of tricks. Not anymore. Chambers just outdoes him, as now he takes it from him into Snowdon. Wants the return pass, watched all the way by Golding, and the ball yet to go out of play. Toulson keeps it alive in towards Snowdon. Richards making the move. It wasn't the intended pass. Eventually it gets its way back to Toulson. And we can't complain at 2-2, but that's what I meant earlier. You know, who knows where that pass could have got had it gone to its intended target. And that is just where Leeds have been a touch unfortunate. Snowdon tries to dink the ball into the path of Cresswell. Safety clearance from Chelsea, 34 gone. Snowdon perhaps has just come across to double up for a time being, but that's soon changed, because Leeds are now going to have to try and switch the play. Debayo realises there's no option out wide and slows it down. Lopata-White to carry, continue his path forward, try to disguise the path to Chambers, and this is where Leeds have allowed too many attacks to break down. Chelsea are waiting for them to make a mistake. Castledine out towards Silcott-Duberry. Castledean's there for a cutback if he wants him. Shot comes in, a wasted effort, but a deflected effort. And there is the counter-attack that we fear so much. Yeah,
and there lies the danger, doesn't it, for the remainder of the game. Chelsea have already showed us how lethal, devastating they can be on a counter-attack. So on transitions, it's important, as I mentioned, just your awareness where you are on the pitch. Think worst-case scenario. It's not being negative, it's just having that understanding of not leaving yourself so open on the changeover of the possession.
Yeah, Silcott-Duberry's gone across to take this latest corner. Looper to the far post. Morgan maybe saw it late in the sun, because that isn't ahead of a player that had much of a plan behind him. As we eke into the last 10 minutes of this first half. Cresswell, with the arms out, suggests that he wanted the ball. Debayo didn't want to play it over the top of a Chelsea player, and he gets them on the attack with Richards. This facet of Leeds' game. Richards has stayed inside. Thomas wants to use him as another runner, cuts it back. Chelsea with the block, keep it alive as Thomas tries to put off Stutter. Big call for a Chelsea throw. Both players were scrapping for it, but linesman had the best view in the house right next to the incident. Throw-in doesn't come in play and take a touch, so Chelsea concede one here. Cresswell, back he goes to Lopata-White. Big game for these two centre-halves, Ben, because they're both very tempted by the rush out of the back and to play a pass, and they have it in their locker. But like all defenders, or any player, you know, not criticising defenders, Ben, mainly because you'll moan, you can't just rush forward and give the ball away. You're not guaranteed, because you're good at it, to always make the pass. And there have been a couple of occasions where Leeds' defenders have pushed up and been very effective. There's also been a few where they've been caught. So has Christy. And it is these areas where Leeds have just looked a little bit panicky and shaky. whatever Chelsea are doing defensively when Leeds have got the ball in the back four is working.
We've proven so far in this half when we make just clear decisions, and it's the first option you see, usually the right one. Just make it nice and quick.
Yeah, Lopata-White gets the block in, so Christy will take the blame for that. But you know, clearly as a goalkeeper, he wasn't happy with what was further down the pitch. As you say, the main thing is not realising how close the Chelsea player is. It's been maybe 4 occasions now the block out or the pass out from the back has been blocked. But 8 minutes left of this first half, and Leeds are bang in this game. Ball go over the top onto the roof of the net. Harry Christy was trying to quicken things up. Eventually we'll get the chance to do so. And there again, Silcott-Duberry, just as Leeds are about to play, that pass appears out of nowhere. Toulson wants to stretch the play to Richards. Richards tries to turn inside. Number 4, Thomas, whisker away from getting to Williams' back pass. Debayo's header takes a deflection off Castledine. Here's Coleman. He's had a big role in midfield today so far. Alongside him is Chadwick. Coleman tries to take on Dyer, and still Coleman going. Options left and right. Deflected pass. Keeper, he's tall and rangy. He's not that quick though. It'll be a corner. I think this is one of Cian Coleman's best games for a long while. Yeah,
he's growing into the game, having more of an influence, isn't he? So, like I said, so good on the ball. He's getting into those little pocket of spaces. His close control, manipulating that pass, that ball. It's difficult for Chelsea to get near him at the moment.
Snowdon gets the ball down. Crowd of bodies on the penalty spot in Leeds colours. One of them is Cresswell, the goal scorer of Leeds is first. To the front post, Chadwick, still not fully clear. It is Cresswell. Debayo having a go at it. Chambers, forced wide with his first touch, could go backwards, plays it safe. Leeds can regroup with Cian Coleman. Snowdon at the far post asking for a looping ball in. It gets there, but this is where Leeds have to have bodies back. Silcott-Duberry, Joe Snowdon charging back as if it's a last gasp chance. And it is that pressure that forces a mistake. Here is Chadwick, delays to Richards, fired too far closely to him, and he coughs up possession. I thought for a second there, Ben, we're going to get an Alfie Cresswell brace.
Yeah, look that way. We've been so dangerous, haven't we? Every set piece we have, delivery has been good. The movement, getting on end of things. Chelsea find it very difficult to pick people up.
Here's Coleman. Down the line was Chambers. Might even get to it, Chambers. Strong runner turns onto his left foot. Opportunity to have a go. Really well hit. Down the throat of the goalkeeper. Snowdon was coming in. I guess when it's sat up for you like that, and you get a connection like he did, Ben, Chambers had every right to go for goal. He had some power behind it.
Yeah, it probably hit it too well, if that's even a thing, because it's a great run. That's what you want from your number 10. Getting in behind as well. Good strength. And let me tell you, if this was Luca Thomas having the strike, he's not passing as well. So it's every opportunity, every right to take it. It was Chambers. It's one of those, if he scuffs it, he probably finds the bottom corner.
I was going to say, I think you're wrong there, because Luca Thomas looked at him to say, you should have passed. that tells you he would have done the same, of course. So here comes Chelsea on the attack, out towards Stutter. Return pass to the number 4, Williams. In the penalty area, Debayo stands strong. Effort coming in from Golding, blocked by Leeds immediately. It's all got quite frantic. Chelsea having a lot of space and time. Here is Dyer. Squeezes it through Chambers and Richards. Williams to Dyer. To Castledine. Back to Hughes. Down the line. Hughes again. Cross coming. Morgan. Lopata-White gets up higher than anybody. Important he did, because Morgan had a free header waiting in the wings for perhaps his second of the afternoon. Might even come to him again, but Harry Christy has done. Into the 4th time now. Comes out, commands, and gets to it. Coleman again it's like next goal wins this game. Coleman looks for Thomas straight away over the front foot. A deflection, he rises the challenge. Thomas still going. He's got Richards. He might have to go for goal himself. He will. Sadly, the goalkeeper's underneath it and behind it. Luca Thomas, another shot on target. He had Richards, but again, there's the example, Ben. Edge of the box, a centre forward is not passing.
I just don't want half-time to come, Tom. What a first half this has been, end to end. You said Harry Christy coming for a cross yet again, so cool and calm when he does that, but then releases the ball up the other end. Lucas Thompson nearly finds back of the net. What a half!
What a half indeed, as Leeds set the tempo again with this high pressure. Chadwick just eases off a little bit. A couple of minutes left of the first half. Reminder of the bench: Van der Heuvel, Allen, Monteiro, Spencer, Moore. In theory, Leeds are going to gain experience with whoever they bring off the bench. Charlie Allen has had a recent loan spell on this pitch with York. As Coleman tried to get to the ball, Chelsea ride the challenge into Golding. It's opened up for him to have a shot. He takes the opportunity. Christy, as nimble as you can get, up and at them just as Morgan was about to tap it in. The outstretched right palm of Harry Christy saves the day.
And this is why goalkeepers do all these bonkers, crazy drills day in, day out, just for the reactions like that, because always a tricky save, low down to his right, but it's to get up just in front of the striker coming in for a tap-in. Did very well, did Christy.
Snowdon wins a free kick. It's a good point you make about those bonkers drills, because when you're watching warm-ups or training videos, you think, when are they ever going to use that? And then all of a sudden, you see it in the flesh. As here's Richards. Lopata-White steps up out of defence. Has Cresswell out on his outside. Richards in the middle asking for it. Cresswell doesn't really have a lane to go down, but instead Lopata-White is available and he's open and he's running into the penalty area. Strength just about gets it across. No penalty appeal, even though he was nudged to the floor. I think the shoulder barge came at the wrong time for him, because he's just about to release the pass. That's why it was so tame, Ben. But heart-in-mouth moment for both teams. Yeah,
I'm just trying to get my head around why Lopata-White's playing as a right winger and overlapping Alfie Cresswell, who's a centre-half but playing right back. What a bonkers half, but he just got the wrong side of the Chelsea defender, and I think if it was outside the box, you'd probably get more of a free kick given. It's one of those you don't really see them as penalties do, unfortunately, but centre-halves overlapping, getting into the box. It's a new thing.
Yeah, could tick it off our checklist of balmy things to happen while commentating in the 21s. Yeah, never thought that was the case, but obviously Cresswell had no options. His backward option would have been Lopata-White, so that it was pretty much last-ditch attempts. It worked perfectly. Chelsea fell for it as we have the final few seconds of this first half. One player Leeds have not really got to grips with is Keanu Dyer. He's here now, just trying to stretch the play a little bit. He's been one that as the first receiver, and he's carried it so well. He's got all the tricks and the skills in the book, and he's still going. Leeds have not yet to close him down. Lopata-White steps up eventually to do it. Silcott-Duberry floats the cross in. Good header from Cresswell. The 2 minutes of stoppage time given as Chadwick comes away with it to Chambers. Another natural runner of the ball. Leeds have got so many players in this team that can carry it well. He goes over the top to Thomas. Snowdon can't get to it either. Toulson, at least, though, did win the first challenge. Slides in for the second time. And again, Thomas gets involved, misses the ball. Chelsea wanted a free kick, and they get what they asked for. Thomas had every intention of winning the ball and wasn't that far away from it. He just rolled away from it at the last second. Here is Williams. With a minute left, maybe thought Chelsea might be going all out to get that third, but you also got to take into account what the half has taken out of both teams. So's break from regular league action has clearly got them with a bit between their teeth, because they've been bang at it, both of them. Been a real pleasure to watch so far. He's heading the ball away there, Cresswell, who has added a new dimension. Thomas, by making that challenge, has actually picked up an injury, which is a real frustration here for Leeds, because he's holding the lower left ankle or the calf area. An impact knock is what they will hope, because he is the focal point of this attack. And going down with pretty much the last kick of this first half suggests he's in a bit more discomfort. There is some changes, of course. Lopata-White up front, Chris Moore to centre half. There's options.
Have you brought your boots?
Yeah,
you could be getting a call here.
I mean, they'd need every player in the under 15s, 14s and 13s to be injured before they rang me. As we see the latest opportunity of Chelsea's for Golding. Yeah, this will be a sour note, of course. It's the first chance for everybody to just chill out, and yet they're about to chill out in about 20 seconds further. But Luca Thomas clearly feels he needs to be looked at, and that is why. We've seen Chris Moore having a pretty vigorous talking to, maybe suggested there might be a pre-planned change. Of course, there often is, Ben, at this level in the at the half-time interval.
You just think, why wouldn't the referee just blow up for half-time now? He's going to play about 20 seconds. So you think, just blow up for half-time, go in.
I would normally agree with you, but when the referee has watched this, he's thinking there could be a goal in those 20 seconds.
So you keep going, referee. We're enjoying it that much. Keep on going.
There could be 2 chances each in those 20, 30 seconds the way this game is being played out. So we have everything crossed that Luca Thomas is okay to continue. I mean, the most natural attacking change is Charlie Allen. Maybe Joe Snowdon as a false 9, but we'll worry about that if and when we have to. And especially Luca Thomas, just try to put some extra weight on the leg. He knows he's got 10 minutes to recover as well, so there'll be no replacement unless it's a definite injury. Now, Leeds don't need to make that change, because as you say, Ben, we think we're going to get an extra 20 seconds before we have to resort to half-time. And referee is yet to let the players know they're good to get back underway. A lot of them still having their drinks coming across the pitch at the LNER Community Stadium. And Chelsea are now ready to get this game back underway. It's the second time Billy G has gone to kick it with one foot and kicked it with the other. Now, either it's a tremendous bit of skill, or he's getting a little bit fortunate, as Thomas off the pitch for now, leads down to 10. Blues might even have one more opportunity up their sleeve. Stutter striding forward to the far post. Chelsea player took it off the head of another. Backing up at the far post, ball comes in, deflection helps Leeds' cause. Coleman puts his foot through it. Referee glances at the watch as Thomas is out there, and his first touch with that injured left leg is to play it back towards Chambers. Maybe one last chance for Leeds towards Thomas. Chambers. Thomas needs a bit of space, turns, stronger right foot, opportunity, deflected just past the post. That could have gone anywhere. Corner to come, where Leeds have had so much joy to end this barnstorm of a first half.
You wasn't wrong when you said that we're going to get a couple more opportunities.
I actually was joking as well.
No, you was actually right, because we've had one with Chelsea and now this with Thomas. What a half we've had. Referee, well done. Keep continuing. Let's go all the way through. Let's have a full 90 straight off the bat.
Yeah. Football, it's an ever-changing game. Mix it up, as here is Snowdon. Centre-back pile on at the far post, not fully clear. Chambers will get to swing it forward. Castledine gets to it. There is the whistle to the mouth, and because Chelsea were attacking, we'll say that's a good decision. 2-2 at half-time at the LNER Community Stadium. It's been an absolute cracker, a pleasure to watch. Goals from Morgan and McNeilly put Chelsea in cruise control before it was switched off by Cresswell and Snowdon. We have a second half to come to cherish. At half-time, it is 2 apiece. Half-time nearly over. And we believe the changes are James Debayo and Sam Chambers replaced for Charlie Allen and Chris Moore. And what you get in there is an upgrade in experience. James Debayo, a little bit less experienced than Chris Moore, although still had a good couple of months as a 21s player. And certainly the same can be said for Sam Chambers, who has been really good the last few weeks for the 18s and 21s. He is now replaced for a man that's recently spent some time on loan at York, where he's played on this very pitch on several occasions. Your thoughts, Ben Parker, sat alongside me. I mean, if it can be 20% like the first half at 2-2, I'm going to be delighted. And I know you're going to be even more delighted, because you had an absolute blast. You were just constantly smiling. What do you think to the changes as we wait for the second half to get underway?
Yeah, just echo what you were saying there, Tom, in terms of the experience. The two lads coming on, plenty of it. We've seen them so many times at this level. And with that added experience Charlie Allen got from that loan spell with York, hopefully can bring what he's learned from playing against, obviously, a lot older guys, and good level as well. So it's game finally balanced, and you're right, if we get anywhere close to what we had in the first half, we're going to have a treat, but it's important we do the basics well, more importantly off the ball, and if we keep doing the things we did so well going forward, then yeah, it's going to be a good second half. But early booking there, picked up from there, bit of a late challenge straight into the book.
Yeah, I think it was Chadwick, wasn't it? He was the one that was putting his head down in disappointment. So, and I can see why. The ball goes flying. But he had to make it, he clearly felt, with players out of position.
Yeah, it looks like a strange kind of decision overall. I thought he just won the ball. So, referee a lot closer than we are, so give him the benefit of the doubt.
Chelsea on the attack, headed away straight away by Leeds. Chadwick flicks it round the side door up towards Dyer, a little nudge in the back, and they'll take their time here, the Blues. So despite the scoreline, we actually had 18.5 minutes of no goals in the first half, then 4 in 10 minutes. So quite a concentrated period for all the efforts. One of those games that we can't really switch off with. Such was the quality. James Debayo just makes his way back to the bench. But he did some nice things in the first half as well, Ben. Some good interceptions. Stepped up quite early to stop the centre forward getting to the ball. I do wonder if Chris Moore's been told to deploy the same tactics. I mean, they are different sort of defenders. Moore is a bit more patient in possession. More of a natural defender. Debayo, of course, has played holding midfield for this team on one occasion. Such is his wish to get forward. Here is Lopata-White. No plan for him to go sideways. Went forward, risked the pass. Silcott-Duberry pounces. On the attack is Williams, watching it all the way is the opposite number 4 in Kieran Coleman. He gets a nudge, watches it out of play for a goal kick. And the sort of start I think both managers wanted. Low key, assess things. Clearly they've changed their tactics to maybe not leave themselves as open, Ben.
Yeah, you're right, and we mentioned what to improve on from the first half. It's just the work off the ball, probably more shape than anything, because it's nothing to do with a desire or an application to do the work. That's in abundance. It's just been more smart with it.
Here's Williams, looking for a way through. Takes the ball sideways, does McNeilly. Richards gets a toe to the ball. Cresswell just getting in the way of the Chelsea attacker. McNeilly again. Here's Christy. Toulson sprinting across the box to help Leeds get away from trouble. Allen brings it under control, runs into trouble by doing so. Playing out on the left suggests Snowdon might go into number 10. Snowdon was the man you could see flying in at the last second. Stutter over the top to Williams. Chris Moore watching it all the way. No risks from Chris Moore, Ben. Perhaps could have taken a touch to push it away, but clearly he felt that wasn't the right option. Safety first.
Yeah, it was. But it was good positioning, good reading of the game for Chris Moore. Been a long time. Him getting probably a run out at centre half. As you mentioned, players playing different positions. He epitomises that does Chris Moore from his right back stints.
Moore and Allen combining to put Chelsea under pressure. Header from Hughes. Chadwick follows suit. Bit of calmness on the ball there from Chelsea, but then they've given it away, with Cresswell now having time to put his foot through the ball up towards Thomas, who did go down at the end of the first half with a leg injury, but got back up to finish the first 45 minutes, and he's still out there now, and it's so important for Leeds that he is. Of course, this game is a cup quarter-final, so it might be needed to the very end, such the scoreline stay the same. Toulson to Allen. Thomas just peeling away from his marker. Out to Snowdon. Tries to drive it across the box. Deflection helps Chelsea clear. Leeds will have to just get back in their numbers if they can. Lopata-White sticks the toe out to slow this Chelsea attack down. Good work from Cresswell, just harassing the Chelsea man. And they get their throw, and it could have been so different. That it looked like the latest counter-attack, Ben, that Chelsea were going to exploit Leeds.
We just did well just to disrupt it, really get the tackling, and you can see from Chelsea's perspective, they're at the best when they're trying to play that counter-attack. We know what to expect, though.
More striding forward, looks to play a through ball, mishits it, and maybe misdirects it rather than hits it. There was a true connection behind that ball. As G goes to Sharman-Lowe, should I say. And missed touch from Cresswell's allowed Stud to get in behind. Just pulls at Cresswell's arm to get across him and fires home. It's a good bit of attacking play from the Chelsea number 5. And once he got past Cresswell, might have done it by a pull of the arm. Referee saw nothing in it, but it was the positioning. Cresswell may be caught out a little, and that is as an emphatic as finish as you're going to get.
Certainly is, especially from a left wing back. Been getting forward so regularly in the first half, but it's a devastating finish. Low and hard across Harry Christy, who had no chance. Chelsea edge in front yet again.
Yeah, Zach Sturge is the one that's got it. I mean, Cresswell's actually read the play, hasn't he? He's just miscontrolled it, so it's a touch unfortunate, let's be honest. But you can't take anything away from the finish. And that's what we said earlier. You know, if Chelsea get forward, they are likely to score. They're just that good. We know, though, that Leeds are just as good, Ben. So it's a case of just dust yourselves down and start again.
Yeah, again, it's been strong mentally as well. We've already got back into the game from 2 goals behind, so the boys know we can do it. Nothing to panic, nothing to rush at the moment. Keep playing your game.
Yeah, back to Christy, who floats it out to the wing. Good pass inside from Lopata-White now to Coleman. Thomas was trying to turn it sideways to Snowdon. Didn't realise that Dyer had cut across. And free kick from Luca Thomas. Quite powerful in his challenge. Touch from G. Equally as effective from Chris Moore. Golding gets away from 2 Leeds shirts. Eventually the Whites can clear. Williams dives onto the loose ball. Silcott-Duberry. Christy powering it back inside. Golding, Castledine. Nearly a touch from Chadwick, who of course can't dive in on a card. Chelsea have got a bit of zest about their play again. Trying to zip it around the park and try and force Leeds into some errors. Dyer just bundled to the floor by Richards, who probably didn't appreciate the numerous drag backs. I mean, I know he's not scored, but I think Dyer's been Chelsea's best player today. He's clearly annoyed Leeds' midfielders, Ben, because that's not the first time he's been pushed to the floor.
No, not at all. And you're right, has been a standout for Chelsea, dictating the play, good tempo to his game. It'd be right if players doing all these drag backs, little tricks on the ball. Let them know you're about.
Coleman dealt a bit of a risky ball. They just had to try and turn it forwards. Snowdon. Dyer with the touch again, and that's the influence he's had on this team. He's flashed on the ball, but it's the actual positioning in the midfield. He's broken up Leeds' attack. Sturge down the left. Here is Hughes. Williams swapped roles in the first half, from the first half to the second as well. He was playing left back. He's been all over the pitch for Chelsea in the second. Here's Chadwick. Good bit of awareness from Chadwick. Tries to get Leeds on the front foot. They will at least build an attack with Allen. He just slows it down, wanting someone to come closer to him. Out to Cresswell. Chadwick further back. Richards down the line. Richards, despite his age, playing above his age group today, he's doing his best out there, digging in. He's had a couple of effective minutes as well. This man has as well. Coleman. The referee gives a free kick. Chelsea will feel that Coleman's won that by chelping off, but all that matters is that Leeds have it. There didn't look to be a lot in it, in fairness, but of course we will take it.
Yeah, probably the first time in this second half where we just kept possession just a little bit, didn't force the pass. You could see Charlie Allen was looking forward, but switched it out to the right-hand side where we had a bit of space. Nothing came it with Richards down the line, so he cut back, started again. And with Keane Coleman, you know, was going to drive forward, just buys that free kick, and we have been dangerous from set pieces.
Headed away by Chelsea, not the best delivery. Corners have been much more dangerous for Leeds. Coleman again on the front foot. Fired out to Allen. He's done well to keep it alive, Allen. He just tried to fizz it across. I mean, Richards at the far post is asking for a better delivery. I just think they've got to be grateful he actually got any delivery in, Ben. I mean, how he's brought that under control. I know he's quick, but he at least give himself half a chance. Oh,
my hamstrings are screaming looking at that. I don't know how he's got to it. Unbelievable bit of flexibility. Then the control. I think he just surprised himself. He kept the ball in play and just tried to flash the ball into an area. Obviously the quality wasn't there, but so looking from Charlie Allen.
Lopata-White, as calm as you like, into Coleman. Now Chadwick. Snowdon. Chadwick. Cut back. Thomas went for it. Up in the air, deflected. Keeper tipped over the top. They're claiming he's pushed the goalkeeper. And that is why the free kick's given. Do wonder what would have happened had Luca Thomas not touched him. But opportunity not for Chadwick in the number 8 jersey. I was about to say Leeds have just not got going in the second half. But there's a bit of a sense of a comeback here. Not saying they're going to score, but they're starting to dig in again.
No, they are, and again, just making the right decisions on the ball, because almost similar pattern to how the first half went. We grew into the game, and when we're getting the decision making right, that's when we looked a good team.
Over the top, thankfully for Leeds. Castledine trying to react to Silcott-Duberry's cross. Wasn't that far away either, as here is Coleman driving out of defence. Misplaced pass for Allen. Could tell what he wanted to do. Get them on the front foot, drive forward. Taking the throw is Brody Hughes. Our McNeilly upon us at the LNER Community Stadium in York. The only subs really for Leeds centre-half and a makeshift centre-half come centre midfielder in Morton Spencer and Diogo Monteiro. Monteiro the centre-half, Spencer the midfielder. Lopata-White bundled to the floor. Referee says game on and carry on. Big surprising call as Cresswell throws himself into the challenge. Lopata-White having to fight on all fronts. Now he's caught. Chelsea's bench not happy. Lopata-White comes off second best. There was a couple of players having a nibble at the number 6, Ruben Lopata-White. So the first time he doesn't get a free kick, which I think some refs have given them. Then he had to go fighting in. Cresswell put his body on the line. Then Lopata-White it's Sturge that's gone too far with the challenge, and now we hope he can continue.
It looked more like a stray elbow into kind of his rib, his side. Maybe a bit winded from that. Hopefully it is just a knock, because he's had another good game so far. You look at the scoreline of centre half saying, well, conceded 3 goals, but I think he's done his job personally really well today, Lopata-White, and another player who's been growing this season with the 18s in the Youth Cup run, as we've seen, stepping into the under-21s.
So yeah, he's had a big influence in the last few weeks, really stood up to the plate and caught the eye. Still down the centre half, so they would have a candidate in Monteiro to come on. I mean, someone is actually stripping to get ready. I think it does look like Diogo Monteiro, which perhaps suggests that they are going to switch things regardless of whether they want it to continue. I mean, he's in some discomfort. It's one of those unfortunate situations, because he felt this injury is avoidable, because he got pushed to the floor first time, which was probably what he felt was justified enough. So he's got the arm sort of wrapped up in the side of his shirt, which suggests like a shoulder or an elbow injury. And he's just making sure he's okay. Scott Gardner is double checking things. So as tough as they come, the arm's still protected. Naturally, that normally suggests a shoulder or an elbow injury, Ben. But there's no sign of him going in the tunnel. He's took the arm back out now. I think he's ready to go. He's just holding it a bit loosely. So they're taking no risk with him, of course. There's still a half an hour left. But there's no sign of him wanting to head to the tunnel. He wants to watch this masterpiece that we hope will unfold. Yeah,
you're just watching him closely because of the big game he'll be involved in on Thursday. You've mentioned it's on live on LUTV. That massive FA Youth Cup semi-final against Millwall at Ellen Road. What an occasion it will be on Thursday, and Lopata-White will be a big player for the young under-18s team, so thankfully it seems okay.
Yeah, that is the case. Seems okay is the key word, and we'll see how it pans out as Christy puts his foot through it out to the right-hand side. It was intended for Cresswell. Richards, Cresswell gets it back. Snowdon was asking for it. Cresswell went for like a percentage ball into the area. Good work from Richards. Gets a toe to the ball. The referee says not. Big call that from the official. Leeds man certainly looked like he got a nick on it, but not given. As Chelsea yet to make an alteration of their own. Sturge into an area Leeds really don't want him. Across the face, Christy read it really early. He was down on the floor waiting for it more than last ditch attempts. Great goalkeeping again, but I mean he's let 3 in today, and a few of his passes forward have been a bit shaky, but what he does with his hands and getting in the way, Harry Christie's been as effective as he always is.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like calm and influence when he comes for crosses. His reading of the game's excellent. You still see the threat with Chelsea and Sturge on that left-hand side, still getting forward at every opportunity, and that's going to be the threat because we're going to keep committing bodies forward.
Yeah, bodies forward there as offside flag goes up against Jimmy J. Morgan. Which Cresswell will take. Coleman. Castledine had read that well before the pass had even been played by Cresswell. Here is Christy. Thomas fizzed into Snowdon, who just took his eye off it. Won it back for Leeds. Coleman. Dyer racing across to get to Thomas, just prodded it forward. Bit of an underhit back pass by Sturge. That's gone out of play for a corner. This is where Leeds had some joy in the first half. We have to hope it continues because from open play, last few minutes, Leeds have just got a bit disjointed again, and it's mainly due to that sub. It's lost their flow a little bit. We'll see what they can do here from this set piece. They have a plenty of centre halves on the pitch, Monteiro, Moore and Cresswell. Thomas went for a very ambitious effort, overhit, nobody near it, and a set piece wasted more than anything else. I mean, the delivery, fans will accept it over being beat at the near post, but as easy catch as you're going to get.
Yeah, it was, and that's disappointing because how good we were in the first half from corners, those in-swingers from Thomas. Lethal delivery with that left foot, but it's too close to the goalkeeper, unfortunately, that one.
Here is Dyer, lots of space and got a bit of time for him as well. Chadwick, a few others looking around at who should have taken control there. Golding was the one rushing forward. Chelsea are just looking after the ball a little bit. Not as rushed as they were in the first half. As Dyer is clipped, there's a couple of other players are pleading. I think it's Coleman this time that's getting a talking to. And Dyer is they've been in the wars. He's dumped to the floor again by Thomas. Leeds are taking to those sort of tactics. Chelsea are not happy about it. They're wanting answers and responses from the ref. And overall, he has been a total nuisance, and I say that with respect. Very, very impressive player. One of the best we've come up against in the last few years. But Leeds still have 10 other players to get past. The game is still there for them at 3-2, 22 minutes left. It hasn't been as chaotic as the first half, Ben, which is no surprise. We did ask if they could have played 90 minutes in one go, but they ruined everything. There's still, though, a bit of optimism. Leeds have got players out there. The subs haven't had the effect they would have liked. I think it's mainly Chelsea being a bit better as well, a bit more compact. Here is Snowdon, one of those starters, into Thomas. Certainly asked a lot of his centre-forward, played it behind him. And safe to say things haven't stuck up front or through midfield. Not a lot of creativity in the last 10 minutes. For Leeds United's 21s. Here's Golding. Scooped up an underpass. More nice and assured back to Christy. But someone in midfield is going to have to try and take charge of this, whether it's a switching of the wings, you put Allen out to the right and swap. Someone's going to have to put their hand up.
Yeah, they are. There's still plenty of time left in this game. We've seen how things can change so quickly, like we did in the first half. So no need to panic yet, but you're right, someone just needs to take the impetus, grasp this game. By doing that, it could become a match winner.
Forward it goes into Morgan. Got too much space for Leeds. Christy kept himself as big as possible, and Morgan slaps the hands in frustration. He's got it very wrong. Went for the lobbed attempt, and that's a big let off for Leeds because he was in so much space. Not sure that Chris Moore took his eye off him or thought he was offside, but you'd feel a Chelsea player that scored the first should have done better.
Yeah, he really should have done. You feel a second goal for himself there puts the game to bed. Really do. Difficult task, 20 minutes to go to get that two goals back like we would have needed, but we're on the front foot now.
Thomas, options wide, Richards. Coleman's the furthest player forward. He tried to put it towards him. Allen was there, but for a fingertip touch from Sharman-Lowe. But I think Leeds United are going to be denied. I thought the keeper had touched that. Maybe I'm wrong. It looked like something at the last second took it away. So Richards puts it in. No, he just bobbles. Fair enough. Big spot from the officials. Oh, so close for Leeds United.
Yeah, was it a shot? Was it a cross? Charlie Allen was trying to get into the post, and just one of those near moments yet again.
Yeah, chaotic. Really is. Here's Chadwick to the byline for Snowdon. Cut back, good header from Billy G. And headed away for a corner. Another opportunity for Leeds. We've gone back to organised chaos.
Organised chaos. This is what we like to see. We love a bit of organised chaos, don't we, Tom?
You certainly do. Here is Thomas. Near post, keeper's on his backside. Referee gives a free kick. Ben identified that Joe Snowdon played a crucial goal at rolling the Cresswell equaliser for blocking the goalkeeper. Have you ever seen a man so big go down so quickly for walking into a man at, I'd say Joe Snowdon's what, 5'10", 5'11"?
It's amazing what he can fall over for these days, Tom. But I don't know what Joe Snowdon does anything wrong. He just stands his ground. He's allowed to do that, right?
Apparently not. Apparently not, Ben. As we see the game back underway with Cresswell flicking it on. Good header. Chadwick trying to stand his ground. McNeilly going to the ground. There's a couple of players claiming he dived, but I mean Chadwick's game has changed a little because of his card in the first half. When he's rushing in, he's just having to plant his feet and just put his arms out. He doesn't want to risk anybody. Try to get him sent off. I think Chadwick sent one of his teammates, just stand off. Don't have to be as powerful as that because Chelsea are going to go to ground. They are going to try and see the game out with 3 substitutions. So we have 12 on for 11. That is George coming on for McNeilly, one of the goal scorers. Next sub sees Golding replaced by Denny. Last but not least will be Silcott-Duberry replaced by Frankie Runham. So there are the changes for Chelsea, and you just get the sense, you know, I've seen Chelsea a few times. We know what to expect. This is no offence to other academy setups, but sometimes when you play a team that are a bit lower down the pyramid, when they make changes, you naturally think they're getting a tad weaker or experimenting. You never get that sense with Chelsea, do you? They've got strength in numbers across the park.
And they've been like it for so many years now. Such a standout academy alongside ourselves. You have to say that, but the recruitment that goes into Chelsea, the finances as well. They have a big pool of players to choose from. But it's our young boys, a lot of our scholars out there today who are stepping up to the mark, putting a great effort in.
Here's Monteiro. Out to Cresswell. Bit of space for Alfie Cresswell to manoeuvre into. Richards, the two 18s players combining. Little drop of the shoulder from Richards. Gets past his man. Still going. Gone to ground. Cresswell to Snowdon. Risky ball into Snowdon. Made him work so hard for it. Chelsea have just smothered Leeds players there to get it back. Richards somehow keeps hold of it. He's doing so well out there, the youngster. Being nudged around the park. Back to Cresswell. Back to Monteiro. Do you want to see maybe Ben leads up the ante a little bit? Monteiro's pass is poor, playing at a pace that suits Chelsea, surely.
And trying to create a bit of chaos in the Chelsea back line, because they just found it a little bit easier this second half, and we're not that kind of major threat we saw throughout the first 45 when we're finding pocket of spaces, dragging out the Chelsea defenders. Been relatively pretty simple in terms of keeping the shape.
Yeah, 1-2 that's gone astray for Leeds. Poor execution. And I mean, some players that are out of position overall, really. A right back playing right mid, a centre half playing right back. You are going to get a few passes go amiss. Dyer gets away. Toulson and Allen, they didn't run into each other. That was an opportunity for Leeds. As Thomas diving in to try and keep it alive. I think we saw the first mistake from Keanu Dyer there. Sadly for Leeds, they were that eager, they ran into each other. Charlie Allen on the left. It has something that has worked so far today. He's been a bit quiet. Reintroducing to the 21s after that loan spell recent weeks. Blues on the front foot. Coleman trying to stop that, forcing them back. But again, I said it earlier, Chelsea are okay with this, aren't they? If they have to go back, it's fine. It wastes precious seconds off the clock. It's up to Leeds to win it and drive forward. I don't think there's going to be much risk-taking by Chelsea. I mean, they'll look to kill the game at 4-2, but it's more a case of Leeds having to drag their way through this as Toulson's out of position. The pass into Morgan. Moore gets across, gets the toe to the ball. Important block from Coleman. Here's Allen. Fired at Snowdon. Rise the challenge, Snowdon. He's done tremendously well. He's at least kept the ball somehow to Thomas. He might have to slow it down here. He's going to take it forward, the Leeds number 9. Options are very few and far between, but he picks one out in Allen. He will strike down the throat of the keeper. I mean, how Leeds got a counter-attack out of that, I'll never know. How?
If you asked them to do that again, I'm not sure they'd be able to do it in 100 attempts. But just so well here. Looks isolated, does Luca Thomas. I think he's got nowhere to go, but what about that for a pass? Drilled it into Allen. Unfortunately, ball just under his feet a little bit. Couldn't get the power or direction wanted on his shot. But they're the moments where hopefully can just create something out of nothing.
Yeah, frustration really is. Here is Monteiro. Back to Christy. Taking his time, Harry Christy. Into Coleman. It's hounded immediately, so was Christy. And does well to actually keep it alive. Cresswell to Chadwick, or to Richards, then Chadwick. A back heel to Snowdon. Try to keep it alive on the front foot. Chelsea were backtracking all the way, expected it. And again, smart play from the Blues. Beat the press away, release the number 6 Dyer. And off they go once more, this time with Runham. Block comes in from Moore. Here is Allen. On the left to Thomas. Thomas was trying to play it to Chadwick. That was the hardest pass of all. Doesn't do so. And it is dragged away by Chelsea. And on they march here with Castledine. Now out to Sturge. The Blues got some momentum behind them. Can Leeds keep them at bay here? They've got to keep this game alive. Coleman gets across, puts the block in. It will be a corner. But there's some tired bodies out there. And look at Thomas has had to work so hard. That was a frustrated cutback. I think Alan's trying to explain it to him that there were simpler passes. There's still time left, Ben, to not have to go for the Hollywood ball, but I can see why Thomas tried it.
Yeah, and more times it doesn't come off. The frustration kicks in even more. It becomes even greater. And as we approach in the last 10 minutes, you start trying things you normally wouldn't do. So it's important you just keep your cool, you keep your calm as well.
Two Leeds players go for the same ball again. I think Ben, with his hand, is trying to tell me that means they've got to communicate. It's either that or he's hungry. Chelsea still leading by 3-2. It's just those little instances that have happened to Leeds that they just can't get momentum. If they clear it, there's a potential counter. All they've done now is allow Chelsea to take a bit more time off the clock. These subs, fresh legs, fresh ideas on the ball. It'll be another corner. Coleman with the block. Chelsea header goes the opposite way. Chance on the rebound, just a whisker wide of the post. The sub coming on. Reece Denny went for it. Too close for comfort, Ben.
Yeah, it was. Just whistled past the post. Everyone grateful with Leeds connections, because that finds the bottom corner. Here's game over. Still in with a chance.
Monteiro down the line to Cresswell. Just try to keep it in. That's why the lack of power behind the pass. Castledine over the top to Morgan. Coleman heads it clear. Monteiro more. They're asking for offside. Coleman speaking to the official, asking for clarification, as here is Allen. To Coleman. Leeds still trailing by the single goal, thanks to a goal from Sturge at the start of this second half. Over the top to Snowdon. Offside appeals for Chelsea. They will get their appeals heard. Joe Snowdon looks around in frustration as we have a free kick to Chelsea to come. Another change for Chelsea. Sturge is going to be replaced. So Chelsea just adding some extra pace to their left-hand side of their attack. He was a real threat throughout the game. And it is Samuel Smith, Ishe Samuel Smith, that is introduced. Chadwick. Back it goes to Moore. And now Toulson. Risky pass into Coleman, who's not been given too much of a hope there. He's done very well all game in like close quarter situations, Ben, where you think he's going to get dispossessed and he just gets away. But we're getting to that minute of the game where you do wonder what Leeds have got up their sleeve. Is there a plan? They just try to wait for a gap from Chelsea. We've added an extra bit of speed to their press. Here's Allen. Dyer is coming. Allen needs to get rid of this, and he does, but it's a risky pass, doesn't get the power behind it, and now Chelsea have got the counter-attack. They're flying forward. There's Williams. He's even pointing backwards to the sub. Samuel Smith to get on the front foot. Chelsea have messed it up a little bit. Could have done a bit better there. Almost had that much time. They ruined it. Ball hasn't gone out. But to see Chelsea going back towards pretty much where they were is a welcome relief.
Yeah, it was. Almost deja vu for the second goal, wasn't it, in terms of space just open up, Chelsea bodies flooding forward. They get the option wrong, thankfully, in the end.
Blues on the attack. Runham. He's got Hughes on the right edge for the cross, deflected off the ankles of Monteiro. It will be a Chelsea corner. Christy's just tried to quicken it up by bowling it out towards that touchline. Dyer offers a short option for Chelsea. Toying with Leeds a little bit, the Blues here, as Snowdon shows a bit of fight to keep it at 3-2, or 2-3 if we're going to be correct, as Christy wants to get Leeds on the attack, forces Richards into a real race against time to Chadwick. All Chelsea have done is enhance the press with the subs, haven't they? The players that have come on are just running around, and it's really helped them unsettle Leeds at the back.
Yeah, just been no real flow or rhythm to the performance, or a certain kind of game plan like we're seeing in this second half. And I have to say, it's been relatively comfortable for Chelsea in that aspect. Again, plenty of effort, tried to do the right thing. It's just not come off in the way like we saw in the first period.
Yeah, frustration. Referee just delaying matters. That's to allow a final sub. So Spencer is on for Chadwick, who has been playing on a leash pretty much since he was yellow carded. So Spencer got an eye for a pass. Will try his best if he can to unlock this stubborn Chelsea rearguard, or what has been stubborn in the second half. That's fair to say. And Dyer again lures them in and gets away from trouble. Spencer this time the one that's beaten. Dyer sets off on his way once more, still going the Chelsea number 6, only for Chris Moore to get to him. And last few minutes, Chelsea still leading, and we have now started to reach those like desperation stage, I think, a little bit.
Now we have. Not sure how much time's going to be added on, but you're just thinking, try and get the ball forward into areas instead of building up the play, trying to play between the lines. We've got to try and do something a bit different now.
Chelsea wanted a penalty. Castledine went to ground, not given. Again, Christy will bowl it out quickly. Unable to take it quicker though, so he rolls it to Chris Moore. Snowdon, opposite end of the pitch where Leeds want him. He's one of the 3 forward players. Lack of movement perhaps, because Snowdon's not happy. Monteiro to Cresswell. Again, as a centre half, he's more of a safer player. He isn't going to get his head down and drive. I do wonder if Leeds maybe should have swapped, could have maybe swapped more for Cresswell and put a more adaptable right back out there, but they clearly believe in the system they've got. They work with these players every day, and they know certainly more better than I do. Good dummy from Thomas to Toulson. Return pass is overhit. Thomas might make something of it, doesn't. Chelsea get away with it. Snowdon put some power behind on the cutback. Coleman fires it at Christy. It's just a case of not giving it away here and not being at fault, because if Leeds give the ball away in these areas, it's nearly a certain chance for the Blues. They're making them go long though, which is not Leeds' game. Advantage given as Cresswell had a pull back on the shirt of Ishe Samuels-Smith. Richards, quick 1-2, rolls it forward to Allen. Allen immediately smothered. Leeds haven't been able to get him in any space. I mean, his game is speed and plenty of it. Not being able to open the lungs once as Thomas cuts inside. He isn't offside. Spencer sends it straight back towards him. Pass over hit, fired back. The idea was good though. I mean, Spencer, everyone expects him to go the other side. Thomas's touch was just a little sloppy. I mean, if we're going to nitpick, it could have been a little bit less hard, the pass, but that's where we are.
And for a second, it looked like Chelsea kind of froze, waiting for initial offside. For Luca Thomas wasn't coming, timed his run well. And it's just those moments, been probably too many of them where it just broke down at the wrong time for our point of view in the final third. That's just allowed Chelsea to clear the lines.
Yeah, Dyer gets away from trouble. Free kick, another one won by that elusive number 6. We've got a player of the match for you, Ben, today that's caught the eye of the team, or a 1 overall and a Leeds' best player?
I think Leeds as a collective, we've tried things, haven't we? Snowdon's looked busy. But you're right, Dyer number 6 for Chelsea, he has been a standout. He's dictated in that area. But from a Leeds perspective, we've given absolutely everything. You have to remember, such a young team we've got out to that today.
Yeah, to only lose to by a goal as it stands to a team much higher than in the table. Leeds have yet to beat Chelsea this year. The best they've done is a draw. And you hope that maybe a couple of years down the line, this one will go the other way with these players more experienced. Here's Dyer. Runs into traffic in Snowdon. Clips the ankles of Snowdon. Castledine had a go as well. That should be a card when it's come back to fruition. Here is Allen stretching the players. Thomas. He's only got Spencer in the middle. He tries to fire him anyway to the far post. Easy as you like from Williams. That is a header of a man that's played at a higher level for a long time. No sign of any panic, just a simple give and go. And then on the attack once more. 6 minutes of stoppage time signal. So Leeds do have a tiny bit of a opportunity. But the way Chelsea are steaming forward, this could be done here because this is a rampant attack. Thankfully for us, that's a poor cross. Hasn't gone out somehow into Castledine. Coleman. Christy would probably give him the shout, but such is the tiredness and the mental fatigue. He's getting in each other's way. Toulson just pops it down the line for Allen. Is it this time for him to stretch the legs? Answer is no. Just smashes it down the line and has not worked. The pass there. And into stoppage time we go, Ben. We need a moment of magic from somewhere.
No, we do. And it looks like the linesman's down with, what is he? Pulled his calf. Looks like he's struggling. Get warmed up, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, I can't play on the pitch. Not even sure I could do this, you know. Don't want to discredit the linesman, who's clearly in some discomfort. I love the lack of support as well. I mean, yeah, he is in some pain. So we are going to have quite a lengthy delay for a new linesman. So we'll chew the fat before that. Well, this is what could be the winning goal. I mean, again, you can't take anything away from the class of the finish and how confident he took it, did Zach Sturge. But you can't help but wonder, can you? Does Cresswell get a better touch? You know, Chelsea, they've had a go, haven't they? But I do wonder if there's a lot of players in that dressing room in Leeds colours today kicking themselves of what could have been.
I think that's what the kind of frustration might come out of it. Some like if only kind of moments. And don't get me wrong, as we keep saying, the effort's been great. It's just in this second half we've not been able to match up the performance levels on an attacking sense, whether it's finding a cross, the pass, getting the shot right. It's just broken down in the second half, and you're going to find that with young players, because to get a complete 90-minute performance from a lot of the scholars, it's very hard to come by. So it's part of the learning curve, learning development. They know they've got the quality, they've shown it and proven it in the first 45. It's can you try and sustain it over a longer period of time?
Yeah, so we are going to get a change here then. The fourth official has had to swap round. Referee Dale Baines is striding back out onto the pitch. The linesman is in some discomfort with that right calf.
He's milking it, I'll give it that.
I don't think he'll be with flag in hand for a few weeks.
I love how both sets of medical departments have just left him alone.
Yeah, not
as well.
one.
Love it.
Not
Brilliant.
one has just said any help, any spray. I mean,
no sympathy. I like it. How can you pull your calf being a linesman? Come on.
I mean, if any game requires a linesman to do some running, I guess this is it. But I guess the confusing bit is when he did seem to ask for help. nothing had happened for a minute or two. But such is life, and expect us to maybe go up to maybe even 100 minutes now, 99 at least. And that incident, maybe adding a bit more time on for one of these teams to get another goal, just adds to what has been a rather crazy afternoon here on LUTV. Chelsea get the throw, and we'll just look to take some steam out of the play. Coleman has Toulson striding away, plays the pass, and it's into that desperate stage where players are risking a few things. Leeds' midfielders are shattered. You see Snowdon and Coleman there, they just don't have the energy to push on to chase that loose pass. Richards is still going out there, the young right back. And it's up towards Thomas. Spencer, one of those players, try to play as a 10. Monteiro wins the header. We just wish for one final chance for Leeds. Because of those tired bodies, Chelsea are getting so much more space. Castledine has checked his spot on a few occasions. Christy watched the eyes all the way, spotted it all the way. I do wonder if Leeds don't need to have to go for this long, desperate ball. They can maybe play it through. That Coleman pass could have gone to Toulson. But it's very easy for us, isn't it? These are the players out there. They're in the quarterfinals. They're desperate to reach the semis. Mistakes are going to happen. Toulson isn't the quickest player. He'll need to show every ounce of pace he's got. He's got plenty of heart and effort. He's kept it alive here for Leeds. Can he win at least a corner? Tries to put it into the box. He just ran out of wriggle room, and more importantly, ran out of help. Yeah, and we've just run out of ideas. Longer this second half has gone on, unfortunately. Always difficult to create something from that kind of area. Again, another example of showing plenty of effort, desire. Just fizzle out to nothing in the end. Toulson caught on the ball. Referee says free kick. Lies on this near side, who has two good calves, has given that call.
That might be my favourite bit of commentary. You've done that.
Monteiro puts it into a good area. Allen's got a chance here. Oh, he just miskicks it. Air kick from Allen. Still keeps alive, the Northern Irishman. Pushed wide. Up to Snowdon. Sort of looking into the area. He's overhit it for one player at the far post, and Cresswell is there. And that might be another chance that goes begging. Had Charlie Allen got his left boot to this ball bend, then we never know what's going to happen here. Yeah, and is he just trying to put into an area? Is he having a shot? Well, I say we'll never know. Half a chance was that. Christy told to come get it by more. We'll bowl it out to centre half with Leeds. Yesh, and the extra added time due to an injury to the linesman has just given Leeds maybe a minute to help themselves to one final opportunity. The bench urging them forward. Cresswell to Coleman. He's just got to go for broke here and put everybody forward. Allen further out towards Snowdon. He cuts back. Still going, Snowdon goes for it, whips it in, keeper spills it, a chance for Luca Thomas, surely! Oh, what a save for the goalkeeper. Match-winning save. He apologises for spilling it originally. I mean, the way that he's managed to react, it's on the line. Oh, what a moment. Luca Thomas, it hits the toe, it's going in, and somehow the goalkeeper, Morton Spencer, falls to his knees. That is the golden opportunity we craved to take this game into extra time. Will we get one final one here? Morton Spencer, the ball has to be good. Delivers to the far post, keeper nowhere near it. Christy was up, and the referee will put the whistle to the mouth. The save from Teddy Sharman-Lowe has denied Leeds United at the death. They have given a great account of themselves, such a young group, under 18s players galore in the starting 11, and they took Chelsea all the way. who have beaten them for the 3rd time this season. So Leeds' participation in the Premier League Cup is over. But while they'll be frustrated, we might look at this game. Well, I know we'll remember this game. I know we will. A couple of years down the line, this is what we might reference for a success story of this academy.
No, definitely, and the experience the players have got from today, but not only from today, through the campaign. As we said, such a young team out there, nearly snatched a late equaliser, almost last kick of the game, to take it into extra time. So they can be proud of the efforts, yes, be disappointed, but use the experience of the rest of the season and then continue on from that.
Frustration then. Leeds United's 21s losing 2-3 at the LNER Community Stadium. That's all from us here on LUTV.